collections, classics, customs, restorations. This is Crossroads Beach Shop. Hey, welcome back to the Crossroads Diecast Speed Shop. I'm Skip, and on our turntable today we have a Hoto Roto. This is a brand new casting put out by Mattel for Hot Wheels for this year, 2025. It's the car that I'm going to be using for Jody's Sims Death Race 2025, which is coming up in July. Supposed to be 18th and 19th, I believe, are the dates, and possibly the 20th if it has to go on. Because I know that can kind of, if you stream it and you watch it, and there's a lot of entries, it can take a while to go through it. Really appreciate Jody doing that. It's a lot of fun to watch the race, watch what happens, and just have fun. It's kind of it's a pink slips race, so if you're interested in getting into this, you can contact Jody through Instagram or at Joe Zero, or you can contact him at his through his YouTube channel too. And that way, when you find out, you can find all the information, because there's I'll try to remember to put a link here for his Death Race 2025 Invitational, and so you can get the information for that. But anyways, I'm looking forward to it. I had a lot of fun last year, and I think it's going to be fun again to do it again this year. So this is going to be a Gaslands theme, so we're going to get it off the turntable up on the rack and kind of take it apart. I'm kind of interested to see what this new car has. I haven't seen what the inside of these look like yet. So let's move on. Okay, well, we're in the shop, and we've got our little Hoto Roto here. I've already drilled and tapped it, so I'm going to take it apart. We'll take a look and see what we got here. Here we go. So body, glass, interior. That's kind of an interesting interior. Let's see what we can do with that. We're going to strip all that chrome off of it and stuff, since this is going to be a Gasland. We'll take off these wheels. Again, there we go. And just different ones, but I don't think we're going to use those wheels for this. We're going to use something else. Again, Gasland is kind of cobbled together stuff, so we want to use something that looks like it's a little bit cobbled together. So that's what it looks like anyways. It actually kind of looks like a Corvette body on there. It's been modified. So anyway, so let's get this thing put into the stripper and get on with our project. Coming up in the shop on June 20th, we have the 4th annual Scott Opa Coster Tribute Build. At the end of the month is the 4 Horsemen Bonfire Invitational with guest horsemen, miniature Mustangs. On July 1st, we have Maple Leaf Customs Canada Build. And on July 5th, it's the Diecast International Builders Demo Derby Invitational. Keep a watch for what's coming up here on the Crossroads Diecast Speed Shop channel. Okay, well, as we move on, before I put this in the stripper, I'm going to take and strip the chrome off of this. So we'll take and get this into the Super Clean. Just take a little bit of a wire and drop that in there, and we'll be good to go. It'll strip that chrome right off. So let's move on. Okay, well, before we get the car into the stripper and stuff, one of the things I decided to do is I want to put the wheels on, test everything. It's always better, even if it's a Gaslands build, I'd like to have it, have the wheels, make sure they work before I have to put anything else on. So what I've done here is I've taken, I got some other wheels that I had off another build, and actually I'm going to use 2 sets. I'm going to use this set for the front, because I like those, and then I'm going to use a set like that for the back. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to glue those down. What I did is I had to make a little bit of modifications to the body. You can see right here, I used my Dremel tool and did a couple bits. I did my grinding bit as well as the other one. But so you can see right there where I did that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to glue those wheels down, because when I try to spin them, they kind of flop around a little bit. So what I want to do is I want to glue them down to the base, so to make sure everything works well. So let's see what we can do here. Get your wheels, when you do this, kind of make sure your wheels are all kind of centered and everything. And then a little bit of in there, and then hit it with the ultraviolet light for about count of 9. You may see some wisp of smoke coming up. Nothing to worry about if it's that. Just, something that does happen here. So that should be good for that one. I've taped it down onto this because I want to also do the front wheels, and I don't know if it's going to be balanced. So I'm going to put those wheels in. You can see those will go in there. And I'll make sure that those are even on the front. And again, I'm just using this JB Weld super glue to glue those things down. You want to kind of do it, get it on there, and then hit it right off with the ultraviolet. So you can see some smoke coming up there, I think. And hit it with the ultraviolet light right off. That way it doesn't creep down with that capillary action down the axles and into the tires. All right, so we'll try it. Let's see what happens. Using different wheels and different axles on different castings sometimes can be a little bit of a challenge. So okay. So we'll put the pieces together. Now I just want to try it out. And just to see how it does. I have to take those front ones off and redo them because they're a little bit crooked, I guess. I didn't realize it was as crooked as it is. It didn't look crooked when I did it, but it's just a little bit crooked, I think. So we'll move on. Okay, well, I'm getting ready to strip down my little death race car. So I'm going to take this, and I use this citrus strip right here to strip the paint off. That works pretty good for most of my models. And just put it in a little plastic container. And tap it off. And put it in like that. And so just put it in a tray. Just kind of way to watch the cars. Make sure that the paint's coming off. If it's not, to be able to at least try to take them out and maybe sand them a little bit to get this thing. Because sometimes on some of the premium castings, especially when you're doing these cars, what will happen is the paint is on there really good. It's got a good clear coat or whatever, and it's harder for the paint to strip. So what you have to do sometimes is take a little bit of sandpaper or steel wool and rub it down a little bit, get it so you can get the stripper underneath the paint and start getting that paint to peel. Anyways, let's move on. All right, well, we're back, and we're still working on our Death Race 2025. You can see the 2024 sticker from last year's race. So I'm going to do that. I have to clean up this, and I'm going to slap some paint on there and kind of stress it out, make it look like a Gaslands vehicle. First, I'm going to just clean up a little bit of the stuff where the old paint was. Basically, I'm using one of these Scotch-Brite wheels, and just run it over. And this is good for any car. It doesn't have to be a Gaslands car. Matter of fact, Gaslands probably need it less than any of them because they're just kind of supposed to be kind of beat up anyways. But I just want my paint to adhere, especially if it's a pink slips race like it is. I know it is. That means somebody's going to get this car, and I want it to be half decent anyways, even though it's a Gaslands car. And so I'm looking forward to it. And you can see how that's already cleaning up all that tarnished area and shining that up. I'm just going to work on it a little bit more, and then I'll show it to you once we get it out of paint. Let's move on.
Later.
All right, well, we're back, and we are still working on our Death Race 2025 build. It's a Hodo again, I haven't finished. I got a little bit more detailing I want to do and weathering I want to do, but thought I'd just show it this much. Changed the wheels out on that to make them a little bit more aggressive. One of the things I did, instead of, I couldn't find my screen, so what I did is I took some tape and I taped over certain areas of the windshield and the back window, and it's just to make it smaller to look out and try to keep blacking everything else out. In the interior, of course, I stripped the interior all down. I re-chromed the pipes, kind of try to weather them a little bit. Also, I put that little racer in there, and so he could be in there. That's another reason why I didn't really want to put the screen on the car, because you wouldn't be able to see the racer in there. I thought that was pretty cool. And then I mounted guns on here, painted it flat black, and then threw some weathering and stuff details onto the body as well. So that's that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and put it together, do a little bit more weathering and a few other touch-ups, and then we'll come back. And here's my Hot Wheels Hodo Moto. It looks like kind of like a Corvette type of style body and stuff like that. I think Hodo Moto is a new casting for this year from Hot Wheels. Again, I stripped it all down. I painted it with a flat black paint, and then I used some of this yellow rust, ochre or whatever it's called, from Vallejo and Marlayer, and I just put that on. I sponged it on with a sponge brush. I took a piece of sponge just from one of this. I cut it off, and I dabbed it a little bit on a paper towel just to get some of the excess off, and then I laid it on there and I just kind of wiped it on there and stuff, and it really came out really neat. So if you ever try to do a camo thing, put black and then use something like this yellow ochre or whatever it is on there, and that was a lot of fun. I took some dusting, weathering powders, and dusted up the wheels and some of the rest of the casting, front of the casting. That front grill guard and the gun are some from Creepy Heroes that I got, and so I think that really made it sharp just for the death race. I took in painted the windshields, leaving just a little bit of tape on the windshield and on the rear windows, you can see, so just so it looks like the guy could just see out from a slit, and the rest of it just looks like it's all closed in. I didn't want to put screen, actually couldn't find my screen, but I didn't want to put screen in anyways, because I really wanted to be able to see the driver with his helmet and everything in there too, and see some of those little details as well on the inside. Again, this was a lot of fun. Looking forward to Jody's race. Participated in it last year. Actually won a couple of cars, and that was kind of good because it's a pink slips race. So the first couple are races, and so that was kind of neat to win those. Again, it's a pink slip race. Someone's going to end up losing. You're going to end up losing your car at some point during the race, except for the final winner. But it was a lot of fun to watch that 2-night event. So I really appreciate Jody for doing that and all the work he's doing. I'm looking forward to seeing what everything's going. He's been working on his shop. Hope you check out his channel. It's Jody Sims, and his Wastelands Wednesdays build are always really neat to watch as well. So anyways, as always, God bless, and thanks for stopping by the shop.